7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
PHresh presents Que Bola, where we talk to various movers and hustlers who are popping off and succeeding in the 305 and at the same time influencing the culture. I'm your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Ew.
Hello, everybody out there in the cyberspace world. Everybody locally in South Florida, everybody nationwide, anybody who's listening to the podcast, thank you so much for your loving support, your continuous support, letting me know that you loving the podcast and the guests that I'm bringing on and the topics that we're touching on, you know, culture and various concepts of being a creative and an entrepreneur in a landscape such as South Florida, but also applies to various other regions, especially the heavily Hispanic influence that we have down here in Miami. In this week's episode, we sat down with a creative and entrepreneur chef out of South Florida who's putting on with one of the most shared experiences in cuisine in South Florida, pastelitos. Of course, I'm talking about Pastelito Papi. Shout out to my dog Pastelito Papi and Chugs and Ariete for putting on for South Florida on the culinary scene in such a creative and fun experience and way. We sat down with Pastelito Papi. We talked about a lot of the struggles and a lot of the things that he had to overcome in order to even get to the position where he's at right now, being able to present pastelitos artisanally in a fine dining type of way, but at the same time keeping it easily accessible to the layman, to the hoi polloi, to everybody out in South Florida. It's a great talk. Pastelito Papi is a really good and dedicated chef, and there's many good things coming out of this man. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it, man. Let's talk to Pastelito Papi, see what's popping. Listo.
Yo, did you see I'm sure you heard about it, that kid that was fucking stood out there waiting for Drake and shit?
No.
You didn't hear about that?
Nah, what happened?
That this kid, he knew where Drake was gonna be apparently, I guess somewhere in the beach, and he waited like 2 hours for this dude to come out wherever he was. And as soon as he came out, he did like his own his own version of his No Friends in the Industry or whatever.
Yeah.
So Drake comes out and he's there just looking at Drake, like rapping to his own shit, like blah, blah, blah. And Drake looked at him like, he's like, damn, that shit's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yo, apparently like after it wasn't on film, they're like, yo,
Yeah.
he told him, turn off the camera, come over here.
Yeah.
And he talked to him for like a little bit and gave him some encouragement and shit and followed him on Instagram.
Damn,
That's
dope,
some fucking
dog.
huge shit right there, dog.
That's a good.
That's like motivation, like, yo, keep doing your thing because I'm going to be watching you type shit.
Facts. I mean, yeah, he didn't sign him or anything like that.
Nah, the kid's a chamaco, bro.
Yeah,
He's a chamaco, but the song he did was pretty good. And then I looked at his IG, and he has a song about Patria and Cuba, and it was fucking dope as fuck.
All right, that's what's up, dog. So, I mean, yeah, it gives people like encouragement to like do things better, you know, and to like try to aspire to be somebody like Drake. You know, Drake is one of those people that's.
I'm sure people are gonna clown that kid too. But look, bro.
I mean,
that's
bro,
big. That's huge right there.
Let them clown whatever the fuck they want to clown, bro. People clown, but people don't do, and then that's what you know, that ends up being a big issue. You know what I'm saying? The vast majority of the time, people just like they're not actually putting in work. They're more like eating shit, you know, and talking shit about other people who are putting in work and try to do things. Absolutely, which is, yeah. I mean, it's a funny thing because ultimately all you're doing is like killing yourself. You know, you're not actually like you're not helping yourself by being so focused on the detriment of other people. Like when you're focused on the detriment of other people, you're not focused on growing yourself and bettering yourself. Because there's true. Like either you're giving energy or taking energy.
That makes total sense.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's one of those situations. So we in the mix.
Yes,
Another Que Bola podcast with my dog Gio Pastelito Papi.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Good, man. It's been a long day. Been up since like 4:30 in the morning.
Damn, that's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Earlier today, you were on Power 96, right?
Yeah, man. That was a blessing to be on Power 96. They were showcasing the first business for Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah.
And it was an honor to be there. I was surprised that they hit me up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'll take whatever
whatever the universe throws at you.
Exactly. That's what you took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. I saw that you're doing big things. You establishing and going forth with the Pastelito Papi brand.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So I was reading that you used to be a sous chef, right? You were started where, at Norman's?
Yeah, a little more behind that. Like the first sous chef job I ever had was at Tarpon Ben in Coral Gables.
Oh, okay.
I held that down for like 4 years.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Tarpon Ben.
Yeah. it succumbed to the prices of square footage.
Oh yeah.
you know how that is, dog.
What's going on there now is totally different vibe.
I mean that's Miami. It's like you survive as long as your square footage is okay. Cause like if anything starts switching up on you, you either gotta go up on the prices and then people are gonna be like, oh, these people ya se pusieron fancy or whatever.
Yep.
We can't pay for this and move on. So but you started at Tarpon Ben, but originally you were just you were sous chef and you weren't actually like in the pastries and things like that.
No, I never affiliated myself with pastry. I was never into that.
Yeah?
I never liked pastry. With pastry, you gotta be like precise with measurements and stuff. It's not like you can cook something and be like, oh, voy a poner un poquito esto. No.
Yeah.
With pastry, you gotta know what you're doing. It has to be accurate.
Okay.
I never thought that I would be making pastelitos.
Yeah.
It only really happened because we did an event that we had to make like 500 pastelitos.
Okay.
For the chef I work with, Mike Beltran for Ariete.
Okay.
And that's kind of how it happened, man. We did that event, and the pastry chef had her own event. And she told me, Gio, look, I can't do nothing for this event. She's like, I got to do my own thing. I'm like, I'm going to teach you how to do it, and you do it. I'm like, all right, chef, I got it. So she taught me how to do it. I did like 500, and then when we get to the event, these things are flying. And our PR person apparently didn't like deliver the correct message of how many we were supposed to have. So we were supposed to have like 1,200 or something. So we had 500. So as they were going through, like chef was like, yo, hold it. We gotta like milk this for like an hour. I'm like, all right, bro, no problem.
Yeah.
We had helpers too, like from FIU. So I was basically like directing them on what to do. And after the event, like maybe a month later down the line, really late at night, 3 o'clock in the morning, I was watching Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I was a little high too.
Hey.
And pastelitos just hit me in the head, man. And I was just brainstorming ideas in my head, and then I was like, before I start getting ahead of myself, let me do a little research. So I went, Googled pastelitos, craft pastelitos, anything that would pull up. So there was 2 bakeries that pulled up. I went the following day, was my day off. So I went the following day, and I went to both of these places and ordered everything different that we never ate before at different bakeries.
Yeah.
And when I tried them, I'm like, yo, they're good. I'm like, but I can do this a little bit better. And I can apply everything that I learned as a chef throughout the years, seasonality.
Yeah.
Just even dishes, bro. Dishes. And I thought that I can do them way better and kind of blow this thing out of water. I knew there was a niche, and then I just wanted to make sure that there was nobody doing it.
Yeah.
And then I just attacked it very slowly, man. I knew what I was worried about is that in my mind, I felt like this would like take off.
What do you mean?
Like the pastelitos. Like if people would see different flavors, people would be like, oh my God. And then the word would get out slowly, like word of mouth. But my biggest worry was like, I have a full-time job. And if I start promoting this a lot, I'm not going to be able to meet the demand. And I'm not going to have like life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have no free time.
Yeah. I mean, but it's like crazy how that story came to be, because that's like you being ready, right, for when opportunity struck. Because like you put in time as a sous chef, you hadn't done the pastelito part, but you knew how to incorporate all the skill sets that you had learned from being a sous chef, and then putting that to the pastelito part, right?
Yes.
So it's like opportunity meeting like all the grind that you have put in, right?
Yes.
I heard that the first ones that you did were like some kind of goat cheese, and it's like headed cheese or something.
No. Oh yeah. That was the one we did for food and wine.
Yeah.
So we did a head cheese pastelito, which there's no cheese in it.
Oh, okay.
It's the head of a pig. So
head cheese pastelito. So,
yeah.
But it's actually no cheese.
There's no cheese in it. Head cheese is like a charcuterie thing.
Yo.
Like you get the head of a pig,
Yeah.
and you like take it off the bone, and you do something there.
And
I personally don't like it.
Does it resemble cheese?
Not at all.
So what the fuck?
Not
That's
at
crazy
all.
as
The
fuck.
chef I work for, man, he likes doing wild stuff, man.
Okay.
He likes using animals that you wouldn't normally use, and he's really good at creating stuff.
Okay, so then when you guys created that opportunity came about, it came to your head after the event. you said, bro, I could take this to the next level. You did your R&D, saw what was out there in the atmosphere, and then decided, okay, I could take it to the next level. When you come together and you do your actual pastelitos, right? What's your motivation and drive for different ones? Because like I see that one of the ones that sells the most is the PB&J. That shit is like, what made you say, damn, I wanna? Was it like a childhood memory? What was it that made you say?
I always loved PB&Js.
Okay.
I mean, I used to love eating them with soft white bread.
All right.
And that was my way of eating it. But as soon as I started thinking of ideas, I thought of my prima, because at the time she was a pastry chef for Smith and Wolinski.
Okay.
So I hit her up and I told her about the idea, and she's like, I love the idea. She's like, great. I go, prima. I'm like, tell me a couple of flavors, give me some ideas. And the first one she said was PB&J, and I'm like, hold up. I'm like, wow. Like, I did a little pause.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, bro. Like, why haven't they thought of that yet? Because that's like super nostalgic.
That is.
And I felt like that was like Cuba meets America type thing, you know?
America.
Like best of both worlds right there.
I hear you, dog. That's why I was asking, like, yo, what's the inspiration behind it? So, and that in the frita, right?
That and the frita, those were the first two. And then what did we do after that? And then I met this guy, George, Guava George.
Okay.
Shout out to him for growing and making the best guava marmalade in Miami.
Okay.
I never wanted to do guava pastelito because I didn't want to use the canned stuff and stuff like that. But I came across this guy, met him at a Havana club event.
Okay.
And we hit it off, and then that's why we started doing guava. Damn, I forgot, what was the original question?
Like, what's the inspiration for all the various?
Okay, so the inspiration mainly was like when I was doing the R&D at night. I just brainstormed a couple ideas, but the ones that started hitting me the hardest was like, bro, what if we put every Cuban dish possible in the palm of your hand? Like, I started thinking of vaca frita, ropa vieja, rabo encendido, arroz imperial. All of those we've done already, but there's some that I haven't done yet.
Yeah.
One that I really want to do is carne con papa.
Okay.
What else? There's one more. I think I've hit all the Cuban ones so far, bro.
Are you gonna transfer? Go to other countries and try to do like Nicaragua,
Absolutely,
Colombia
man.
ones?
That's why we need Pitbull, man. We're trying to get to Pitbull. We're gonna do
international.
Pastelitos worldwide, baby.
Pastelito worldwide. I like the sound of that shit, dog.
Yeah, man. I wanna do the Colombian pastelito. Yeah. That's why I'm asking everybody, like my close friends first, and then I ask the friends, and then it goes into the family.
Yeah.
Like the ropa vieja one that I did, that's like my best friend's grandmother's recipe. Like, we made it together. She taught me how to do it, and it was super easy.
Damn. I remember I hit you up with the huevos perico pastelito.
Oh yeah,
that would be dope, dog. I love me some huevos.
And shout out to you for bringing me mangoes, man.
Oh, that's what's up, dog. It was from that tree right there, dog.
That's
you
awesome,
see that big
bro.
ass tree?
That's awesome.
I mean, I love. That's my favorite. That's my favorite thing right there is that tree, dog. Because on this property, because it produces, you know, and you go through a growth cycle with it. So it's like a living member of like the household. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah, all those fucking mangoes, man. How you learned how to do that skill of like making them into marmalade?
Yeah, man. I mean, if I'm gonna do things from scratch, going into doing this, I never made jams before.
Yeah.
But at the time, I worked with pastry chefs that they just gave me, they gave me the keys to succeed. They told me, the ratios of this and that and what you should do. So there was a lot of trial and tribulation.
Yeah.
Of like mastering it, getting it the right, like, our motto is more filling, less dough.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. So I went through like different phases of like making the dough this thick or making it thin, just playing with it. Because, growing up here in Miami, eating a pastelito, like, especially the guayaba and queso pastelito, is like full of dough. The ratio is always messed up.
Yeah.
So going into this process, I was like, damn, bro, I'm like, do I really want to make triangle pastelitos? It's kind of like a bitch.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw that. I'm like, let's do it like guayaba style. Square. You can see it on the sides. Every bite is guayaba and queso. So you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up here in South Florida?
I grew up in unincorporated Miami, like on 67th Avenue in Flagler.
Okay. All right. By like Coral Park?
Coral Park's a little more down.
Like
it's like 87th and 8th Street, in between 8th Street and Koche. Yeah. But Flagler is like, it's like West Miami kind of.
What high school you went to?
I went to South Miami.
South Miami. Okay, yeah. That's
and I grew up eating Carla Bakery pastelitos.
That's around the corner, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's crazy, dog. Fucking so when you were in high school and things like that, were you thinking about becoming a chef and trying to cook?
Absolutely
culinary?
not, man. Nah, man, hell no. I started cooking when I was 19, and it was just because I needed a job. And my first cooking job was at Duffy's Tavern in Coral Gables.
Oh, shout out.
Yeah,
Duffy's,
man.
yo.
Yeah, shout out to Duffy's there. And I worked there I lasted for like 6-7 months. I wanted a raise. The owner didn't want to give me a raise. The son-in-law, which is the second owner, he wanted to give me a raise. So I just did the most immature thing you can do at that age, and it's no call, no show.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're growing up and going through the learning pains, and I mean, you do stupid stuff when you're young, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy how like social media doesn't allow you to be stupid no more. It sucks for the young people, dog.
You're on the spot.
Yeah, you're on the spot 24/7. Like we did. I'm gonna speak for myself. I did a shitload of stupid stuff when I was younger, you know. But I mean, luckily, it wasn't on blast. Everything that I did
That's
that
right,
was dumb.
man.
You know,
Kids can't even skip school now.
Yeah,
you know?
it's intense, dude. It's
If
like
you're not in the class, they're emailing your mom already.
100%. That shit is crazy. So like you've gotten the social media and you've learned it and you've applied it to the Pastelito Papi because like I was reading that you originally hated social media. You never used to post ni nada.
Never, bro. If you look at my personal IG, I barely post anything. I mean, now more because of what I'm doing with Pastelito Papi.
Yeah.
I kind of like one post goes to the other side, but I barely promote my stuff. You know, it's not about me, man. Even though the brand's called Pastelito Papi, it's about the pastelitos.
Yeah.
The Pastelito Papi part is just a catchy part to bring you in, suck you in until you try something.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of hooked.
Yeah.
But nah, man. Nah, I'm not a social media person. Sometimes I feel I don't do a great job at it.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, my friends, they're my best, how would you say it? They were my best,
They're like the judges.
yeah.
they're
They're
telling
the
you
ones
what's
that are
good,
like, yo,
what's bad.
man, no, keep doing it. They're like, nah, bro, what you wrote is good. You know.
I mean, you know what? I think transparency always is the best when it comes to that because people are connecting not only to your food, to your pastelito, they're connecting to you. They're connecting to the person who's creating these things.
Right.
Like I truly believe in like how people who cook, if they cook with love, you taste that in the food. I 100% believe that. So like people are invested in the person who's cooking that. So they're invested in you and in your skill set while you're taking your time and you're waking up early or you're taking your time to learn how to do the jam y toda esa vaina. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man.
all that shit is trial and error and it's patience, but you're doing it because you want to put out a really good product. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's dope. So like when you're gonna put out a product, I see that you do it through like IG sales primarily, and you're creating that kind of atmosphere. But now you have chugs, right?
Right.
So like, how do you work with those two things? How do you say, okay, I'm gonna push it through IG or just focus on chugs?
You know, Chugs is not, I don't really control the social media in Chugs. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Chugs just can't be pastelitos, you know? Like, we have a full breakfast menu. We got a full dinner menu. You can eat breakfast at Chugs, you know, all day. You know, we have cocktails there. So, and Chugs, it's the home for the pastelitos, but it's not like a pastelito place.
What do you mean?
Like, it's the home for Pastelito Papi, but like, you're not gonna, like, when you go to the bakery, you can get like maybe like 6-7 different pastelitos. At Chugs, honestly, all we can do is 4 different flavors.
Oh, the pastelitos.
If we do 5, it'd be pushing it. And it's just really, it comes down to storage and space.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that we only been open for 2 weeks, so it's little kinks that we're trying to figure out.
Okay.
But eventually, once that kink gets figured out, I'm gonna go back to doing pre-orders for the weekends. Have more flavors available for people to pick up, and for those people that just want to come scoop up a dozen, come to me instead of the diner, because I rather it come from me than the diner run out, and then I'm cooking more. So that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're trying to juggle the orders from both Chugs and through the social media, because social media is primarily how you've sold the pastelitos so far, and you've put them out to market.
Absolutely, man. You know, Instagram, man, it's the best way, one of the best ways to promote your business.
Yeah.
I learned that a lot of the stuff from Gary Vee. He's very motivational guy.
Yeah.
That night too, of drinking thinking of the pastelitos, I was inspired by Gary Vee. You know, like, and his content kind of helped me put content. It's like, yo, who gives a fuck what people think? Like, don't overthink shit. Just push shit out. Push it out. Push it out.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it now. I'm like, I don't care, It's coming from the heart. It's coming from the moment. Maybe I've said the wording, the same before, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's
at the end of the day, bro, I don't care about likes. I don't care about fame or any of that shit. I just want people to enjoy this product, and hopefully one day it could be, a lot of places.
Man, it's dope that you've embraced this, right? And that you saw it as an opportunity to take your career to the next level. You know what I'm saying? That being said, like you're cultivating the brand. You said that Chugs isn't actually a pastelito like Ventanita, Is something like that? I know it's brewing in the back of your head, like to put up una ventanita somewhere.
I mean, honestly, I would love to have a location.
Yeah.
And it's all about the right spot. You can't just put it anywhere.
No, but have you been actively pursuing something like that?
No, not at the moment. Right now, I'm just enjoying this ride of like. I've only been doing this fully 100% for going on 2 months. After this week, it'll be 2 months.
Yeah.
So the feedback that I'm getting from customers, and this happened all in the process of you bringing me mangoes and a lot of people from the city bringing me mangoes. I'm like making, relationships with my customers.
Yeah. And
it's been an amazing thing. Like a lot of crazy things have happened. Meeting Gloria Estefan. I met, what's this girl's name? Her name's Nicole. Shout out to Nicole, NYC stylist. She's the stylist for Romeo Santos, Nicky Jam.
Ludacris.
Yeah. Like all these things are happening, man, and they're just coming towards me. I'm not like out there looking for it.
I mean, but you know what it is? Once again, bro, it's going back to you putting in work and then the opportunity presenting itself and you being ready to capitalize on that opportunity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you didn't have the skill sets to make really good ingredients for the pastries, then Pastelito Papi would be like a dud. You know what I'm saying? Because people would be like, it's more gimmick than the actually is good.
Right.
But your Pastelito are fire, dog.
Yeah, bro, thank you, bro.
No, straight up, dog. Like, them shits are fire AF. You know what I'm saying? And I like the concept, too, because it's like you've been able to capitalize on something that's so commonplace in South Florida.
Absolutely.
It's something that we, like a lot of people share that experience of eating pastelitos, whether it be at home with family or at work with your coworkers or wherever. You experience that, and that's like something that's super universal to South Florida.
Yes. That's a great way to put it, man.
It's
you
crazy.
Hit that shit on the money.
I mean, it's dope, dog. And so who coined the name Pastelito Papi then?
Oh, man. So, I mean, if anyone tells you, oh, bro, you're lucky, I'm like, bro, I'm not lucky, man. This has been a long grind of like working in the kitchen, doing Pastelito Papi on the side for 3 years was like a long ride because my personal job at the time was like, you got to work 10 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And then imagine working 10 hours a day and then just saving like 3 hours to do your stuff.
I feel you.
It's a lot of work. What was the original question?
Like, who coined Pastelito Papi?
Oh, okay. So the chef that I work with, Michael Beltran, owner of Ariete Hospitality. So for the first 2 years that Ariete opened, I would work brunch. So I would work as a prep, like a executive sous chef prep guy. Mm-hmm. And then on the weekends, I would work brunch. Mm-hmm. So I would be the first guy in there. So I would get in there like 5, 6 in the morning. And Chef Mike, he would work at night, get his ass kicked. Mm. And then he wake up early in the morning to come work with me. So basically when he walks in, I kind of have more or less everything set up. So that day I had, I was hyped and I wanted to talk to him and be serious about the pastelito thing. So he got to work. He usually would get there, like we open at 10, he would usually get there like around 8. And when he got there at 8, he got there like at 8:30. He's like, yo, my bad, bro. I'm sorry. I woke up late. I'm like, bro, it's all good, bro. I set up everything. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I set up the whole thing. I'm like, I want to talk to you. He's like, why didn't you tell me that, bro? I would have just slept more. I'm like, bro, I wanted to talk to you, bro. Listen to me. So he's there like all hungover and he's like checking shit, making sure we have the stuff there. And I'm like, bro. And he's like, bro, what do you want to talk about? I go, the pastelito thing. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, I'm serious. I want to do this pastelito thing. He's like, that's it, bro. You're going to be the Pastelito Papi. And I'm like, nah, bro. I honestly didn't like the name. He's like, yo, you're Pastelito Papi, bro. I said it right there. And I was like, nah, bro. I didn't like it. And then just doing a lot of testing and stuff like that, I would give it to the employees. Yeah. They were my gimme pigs pretty much.
Okay.
Mostly girls.
Yeah.
And the girls, they like love the pastelitos. They're like, bro, this is fire, blah, blah, blah. And I kept telling them, like, you like the name? And they're like, bro, I love the name. You got to keep it. And I'm like, bro, you don't think it's kind of roughy or anything? He's like, they're like, no, bro. They're like, Gio. They're like, if Drake calls himself Champagne Papi, you can call yourself Pastelito Papi.
100%.
And that sold me right there.
True.
That sold me right there. And from then on, like, now I'm embracing it like the way I should. But before, like, people would be like, oh, Pastelito Papi. And I just start laughing. I mean, the first thing you do is laugh.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you don't. Yeah, it's hard for you to like understand that that's a persona now.
Yes.
Because that's not Gio. That's just a persona, you know?
Right.
So it's like you have to embrace it. And the first way you embrace it was a comedy, because it's like it's funny that you're now you're a character now. Yeah. You're not a person, like you're still a person, but your friends see the personable side of you.
Right.
And then the rest of the world sees Pastelito Papi.
Right, like one time I went to go get food at Panda Express.
Yeah.
And I'm there ordering the food and I'm wearing this shirt. And the kid looks at me, he's like, Pastelito Papi, and he just starts laughing. And I'm like, oh, this is so funny. He's like, bro, that shirt's cool, bro. Like, it's dope. I'm like, what is it? Is that a t-shirt company? I'm like, nah, bro, I make pastelitos. He's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I had a sticker on me. I gave him a sticker and he like looked it up on IG. And he was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But that's like the kind of reaction that you get to it.
It's 100%, dog. It's right on point. So like you mentioned a lot, like your experiences working in the kitchen. Like what's that entire like environment like? Like I see that you're talking about like you're testing out the pastelitos with the waitresses, testing out names, and like doing R&D within that whole group of people that you're spending, you said like upwards of 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Together. How does that like, what's that like?
I mean, it's a little bit different for me because I opened up Ariete with Chef Mike and we're like basically like brothers. So him and the partners and the owners of Ariete, like they gave me the tools and the opportunities to succeed to do this. He saw it as like, damn, bro, you're my brother. I opened up a restaurant. You made my dream come true. Look how successful we are now. And it's like kind of like him repaying me back. You know, he's like, yo, bro, I want the best for you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get charged rent. I don't have no overhead. Yeah. All I have is the tools to succeed. And, I'm very thankful for that, because if it wasn't for that and if it wasn't for the owners that we have, that they see our drive, they see that we're passionate about what we do and we don't fuck around. Yeah. And, that's something that you can't, I'm just super thankful, man.
I mean, yeah, man, they're encouraging development, right? Because like they see that you guys are talented and they don't want to, put any roadblocks to that. And
also they've had like, before Ariete, there was other restaurants there.
Yeah.
And they had like 3 other chefs that they basically fucked them over. Like as far as like ordering shit and like, just
like financials.
Right, stuff like that, and also like selling them fake dreams, like, oh, I can do this and all this, and then nothing happens, So Chef Mike comes along and we come along, and he sees that, we take pride in our shit, we do things from scratch, and it's just like you said, like this road prepared us for opening this restaurant, because working in the industry for like 9-8 years leading up to Ariete, like we worked for like chefs that don't know what the fuck they're doing. There's in this industry, there's chefs that's talented, but they're not leaders, or they're bad at managing, or there's other way around. There's chefs that are not creative, but they have everything else. They have the leadership, they have the drive, they know how to do the numbers and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to be a chef and be the overall package. And when you see that, that's something special. And for those young kids out there, if you work for a chef that he's real like that, and he teaches you, and you gotta not take that for granted. You gotta like. You just gotta like take in all the positive, and the negatives are good too. Cause like if you wouldn't work for fucked up people, you wouldn't know how like the balance of like what's good, what's bad, as far as like the overall chef. And in Miami, there's a lot of them, man. There's a lot of them that they're numbers guys, but they're not creative, or the other way around. It's a give or take situation, but
yeah, it has to be. It's like one of those things that's kind of like filmmaking as well. Where it's because you have to be creative, right? You're presenting something that people are going to judge creatively. Right. But at the same time, you got to know how to manage and keep the numbers right.
Yeah.
That the numbers, you could get creative with them, but at some point, numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man.
You got to, at a certain point, numbers don't lie. So it's like, you got to know how to manage both things. You can't have like an all caviar plate or some shit like
Right.
that. It might be attractive and be great on like on IG or whatever the fuck.
Right.
But in real life, it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't like produce for the company or produce for the house. You know, it's really hard to. I agree with you
And
wholeheartedly.
for me, like right now, like let's say I never did Pastelito Papi and I'm working at, the same place or whatever. I mean, like when you work for a mom and pop's place, it's hard to get like the most out of money wise, like what you want a year, opposed to like being a corporate chef. Like go work for, I don't know, Houston's or, like a Cheesecake Factory. Like those places, they're gonna pay you money. But like it's gonna be like a soulless job because you're basically just doing the food over and over again and there's no creativity and you're kinda like a dead spirit there, you know what I'm saying? Like and that's like cooking in the industry, like that's for me, that's something that like I never wanted. Like I've worked in corporate restaurants, but I could never go back to that, bro.
Have you seen people in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they fall into that space and it's just
Yeah.
like soul like what is it, soul sucking? Yeah, like it takes the energy and the drive out of you.
Like you're making good money, but in the long run, like maybe 2 years from now, like you're gonna be like, damn, bro, this sucks. I'm tired of this,
Yeah. Oh, that goes perfectly into like my next question, which is like influences. Obviously, your chef is somebody who was a huge influence, and you guys came up together and learned. Are there other like chefs in the industry, not even locally, but like nationwide or international that you're like, damn, that's somebody who I would like to like follow in their footsteps or admire?
Yeah, man. So when I worked at Tarpon Ben, before Tarpon Ben, I worked at nothing but corporate restaurants. Worked at Tarpon Ben for 4 years. At the time, I think I worked there for 4 years. I started working there when I was like 26, and then I left when I was 30. When I left when I was 30 was to go work for this well-known chef in Miami called Norman Van Aken.
Okay.
He's like an OG here in the 90s. He won James Beard Awards. He was located in the Gables.
Yeah, I heard of him.
So this guy, he was opening up a restaurant like across the street from like Houston's, like in that little where the colonnade is.
Yeah.
So he was opening up a place there, and I'm like, wow. I'm making good money here at Tarpon Ben, but I'm not gonna make any more money, and I ain't learning shit. So I was like, bro, I always wanted to work fine dining and learn that. So I went and applied, and I got the job to be a cook. So I went from a sous chef making good money back to a cook, and it was the best decision I ever made because I would have never met Chef Mike. We all met there. It was 3 of us that worked for Norman, and we worked the saute station. And that's where we started, and then I ended up just being the saute guy. Everyone else kind of like moved around. But that's where we developed our friendship, and we're friends to this day. But if I would have never made that decision, I would have never met Mike. And then I would have never really learned how to be like a real true chef, learning about working with farms.
Yeah.
Bro, there's so much shit that grows out here that nobody knows. And nobody.
Sourcing.
Yeah, man. Like, it's crazy. And when you try food that's grown here, opposed to the shit that you buy at the store, like, bro, it tastes different, bro.
100%.
Like, you grow a carrot, it tastes different. Like, everything tastes different.
Yeah, like Blue Hill Farms.
Yeah.
They grow everything on property.
Yeah.
But they're I tried to go to Blue Hill one time.
Oh, yeah?
You know how much that shit was? I mean, it was $400 for you to sit at the bar. It wasn't even $400 for you to have it. For you to sit at the bar. It was all booked. We didn't even have an opportunity to give them the $400. It was fucking crazy. But I mean, it's that goes to show that like what lengths people will go to taste something completely different. That's fresh. It's true. It's grown in your backyard. I know somebody who grows doesn't grow it actually, cultivates honey from 4 or 5 honey pots out in Homestead. And like you meet people who are growing things here locally, not only in their backyard, but they might have like a little space out in the Redlands or something like that, and they're like growing mad crazy stuff. That shit always does taste different. It is, and it's not only that, but you get different variations of it, right? Because like if you go to Publix, you're only gonna get like one type of avocado, maybe 2 at max, right?
That's a great point right there.
You know what I'm saying? But out here you could get like Haitian avocado from your boy who has a Haitian avocado tree, right?
Right.
Or like some Jamaican avocado or even Jamaican like mango or whatever, There's all those variations that you miss out on when you're just getting it from the supermarket. It's
Exactly.
intense. It's intense. So What are your plans for like the future right now with Pastelito Papi? I know that you're just chugging along. You're trying to push the brand more. Do you have any? I know I saw that you had done a Pastelito Fest at
Oh yeah, a bee culture.
at Big Culture.
Yeah.
Do you have any more like events planned coming up in
We
the
got an
future?
event this Saturday at Unbranded. They're doing their Oktoberfest.
Okay.
And then we have another event for Spanish Marie, the brewery in Kendall. They're doing their anniversary, and they invited us over to vend out there and stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, the events, I'm trying to do more events now that I have the freedom to do so. So, like, I want to be as many places as I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
And push the brand.
Yeah. Are you? Do you feel like you could like pair? What would you pair pastelito with? Like, if you could pair pastelito with something like obviously cafecito, but like or something else, what would you? What do you think would be like would go good with that?
Bro, pastelito pairing. I mean, it just depends like where you're trying to pair with. Like, I can't really come up with something right now, but like for instance, one of like the third events that I've done when I was doing this brand like 3 years ago, we did a pastelito beer pairing with MIA Brewery. And the people that do the food at MIA Brewery is these people that do croquetas. They're called Masa Craft. Shout out to them.
Okay.
They operate out of MIA Brewery, and
All
they
right.
make fire croquetas. They won People's Choice Croqueta at Croqueta Palooza
Shout out
with
Burger
Burger
Beast.
Beast.
The dog.
Their croquetas are fire. And we did a pairing with them. Basically, it was three pastelitos that were mine, and one of them was stuffed with one of their croquetas with like this guava spicy sauce on top. And it did pretty well, man. We sold like 50 tickets.
Yeah.
We had like 20 tickets to sell, but the day of, we sold all 20, and
Yeah.
it was a great vibe, bro. People loved it.
Yeah.
Pairing a pastelito with a beer, I never thought that would be a thing. They're the ones that reached out to me and convinced me to do it, and I kind of wanted to do something at every brewery. I go, bro, let's collab and do one at every brewery, and they wanted to call it like La Ventanita. I don't know
The
what
beer ventanita. or
something like that, and I
Yeah.
was so down for it, but we never got around to it,
La
and then COVID
cervecita.
happened, and then
Yeah. Well, fuck
the rest is
COVID, you know? 100%.
I know, man.
Fuck COVID, man. Dog, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, I would never consider pairing beers with pastelito. Like, also, you could do like a specific pastelito that you could pair. Like, you know how they pair food with wines, right? Or like
Right.
some shit like that. You could put something in the pastelito and then pair it with a specific beer and be like, yo,
Right.
this shit goes with this one, right? You know what I'm saying? You could try.
When we did it, it was kind of like, all right, I'm gonna do these pastelitos, and then like the beer people are the ones that like paired it perfectly with what should go with what.
Damn, that's dope.
I'm not
bro.
really good at that,
Yeah.
but
That's crazy, man. Yeah, Pastelito Papi could take over like the Junta Ventanita, bro.
man, I wish, man. I mean, little by little, man.
It'll get there, dog. 100%.
We'll get there. I just need more pastelito peoples to help me out.
Pastelito people.
I finally just started getting help, man.
What do you feel like has been your biggest like obstacle to growing it?
The kitchen that I'm operating out of,
Mm.
like, I need more freezer space, because right now it's like 3 other restaurants are involved in our freezer.
Yeah.
So we need more freezer space to like, especially produce more flavors.
Mm.
A lot of work goes into it, man.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of, and I need to like start doing like, I'm learning how to do the real things on IG. So I want to let people know like all the steps of doing it. Even when I was doing pre-orders, like it's a mission, bro. Like, I'm taking orders, and then the day before I'm sending DMs to confirm.
Yeah.
And then when I confirm with them, I like, all right, send me a DM when you're on your way.
Yeah.
And then when they do that, it's
You
like,
pull
all right,
up.
send me a DM when you're 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
Because what I do, I cook all the pastelitos in the morning. I'm sure all the followers have seen the stories. And I basically divide all the orders into different trays. I write the names with the times. And it's like, you text me, you're 10 minutes away, boom, I pop it in the oven. So what you're getting is, regardless, you're getting a fresh baked pastelito, but you're getting a nice warm pastelito that's
Yeah.
going to come to you as soon as I come to your car and charge you there.
Damn,
That was
no
another
wonder,
thing.
Yeah.
That was another thing too. Like, I was thinking of like, damn, bro, if you do bake to order, like, people would appreciate that more. You know?
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. How much time does it actually take to do one of the pastelitos?
Like, cook it.
Yeah.
They take 20 minutes to cook.
No, I
but,
mean like the whole prep, everything.
I mean, it depends. Like, what I have. Like, all right, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I did a 20-pound batch of frita mix.
All right.
So that's ready to go tomorrow in the morning. We do the dough. We cut out the molds, and then we make them. And that'll probably make tomorrow just that mix. We'll probably do like 250 pastelitos, and then we're gonna go ahead and make some guava and cheese pastelitos.
How long will all that normally take?
By myself,
Yeah.
that would take me a minute. Probably like I want to say at least 6 hours.
Damn.
But now that I have help,
Yeah.
half the time.
Okay.
And then I can do extra stuff.
All right.
But thank God that I have help. Shout out to my boy Starlin, 305 Papi status. It's funny, man. He come to work with me and his IG says 305 Papi status. I'm like,
Damn, that's what's.
but he's a good friend of mine. I worked with him before. I trust him, and you know, it works perfect. He's a morning person. I'm a morning person. We get shit done. We go home before traffic. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So for all the people who are listening and don't know, you're currently based out of Coconut Grove, right? Chugs is on main highway, right down the street from Ariete, which is also on main highway, right by Taurus, right?
Yes.
So man, that's 6 hours to get one pastelito made, get it out the door. So you stopped right now with the pre-orders.
Yep.
You're only doing it through Chugs right now?
We're doing it through Chugs. You know, if like somebody's gonna have a birthday and they want to do like a catering or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, they can hit me up. They just gotta let me know a couple of days before.
Okay, so you could order for a whole entire like event type of situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn,
like you're saying, like, oh, next week I'm having a birthday.
Yeah.
I want to get 50.
Okay.
Perfect. Go through me. Don't go through Chugs because you're gonna clean out Chugs and then
They're gonna
I'm gonna be on a mission.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on a mission.
For sure, dog. Yo, thank you so much, my dog.
No, thank you, man.
Like for coming out here, for talking to us, to letting us know like how you've been putting on and like how you progressed in the scene, you know, in the industry. Coming from like nothing that has to do with pastelitos to now having the brand, growing it, having people all over. Like, bro, everybody in South Florida loves your shit, dude. Everybody I talk to about your shit, they're like, yo, that dude's shit is fire. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And everybody's like, man, that guy knows what he's doing because like that's you saw the space was open. You know?
Yeah, man.
I congratulate you on that. And like,
thank you, bro. Thank you for having me, man. It's been a minute. I know we became friends on IG and we didn't know each other and bro, we've been following each other for like over fucking 3 years now.
Yeah. I mean, bro, you know what it is? I love South Florida. I love South Florida creatives and especially people that I see are actually putting in work and and following their dreams and doing their stuff. Like I seen your shit. I see you like literally work hard. Like, yo, you're the person on IG that I hit up. I know you're gonna hit me back like in 5 minutes. Like, yo, Gio's gonna hit me back guaranteed in 5 minutes. You know,
for sure, though.
It's crazy. Like that you don't really get that kind of because you know you're on top of your game. You're trying to do it. I mean, I see that you're a morning person. I'm not a morning person myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, man.
That's a whole nother story.
There's a lot of views out there.
Yeah. I myself am not a morning person, but I mean, dog, like I'm trying to get into that more of a morning person type of situation because I do get a lot more done, you know what I'm saying, throughout the day. But yeah, man, congratulations to you, dog, for doing all this dope shit, my dog.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
If people wanted to reach out to you once again, you know, what's the IG, what's the Facebook, what's the Twitter? Do you have a Twitter?
Nah, I don't do Twitter.
Okay, so you just do IG.
I just do IG. No TikTok, no Snapchat. Just
Is there a Facebook page?
Yeah, there's a Facebook page.
Okay.
But you're better off going through IG.
Okay, Pastelito Papi.
Pastelito Papi with a double I, because the one I was taken.
Okay.
And you can find us 7 days a week at Chuck's Diner, from 8 a.m. to midnight, I believe. That's where you can find us, man.
That's what's up, dog. Thank you once again
thank you,
for
man.
coming out here, talking to us. And to you guys, if you're liking what you're hearing, thank you for sharing with your friends. If you like it, share it with your friends. And if you hate it, share it with your enemies. But just share this motherfucker, all right?
That's what's up.
Hasta la próxima. Peace.
Yes, sir.
All right, you heard it there. Shout out to Pastelito Papi. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming on to the show. You already know where to reach out to him at Pastelito Papi with 2 I's. And if anybody would like to suggest anybody for the Que Bola podcast, I'm always open for inquiries. Please reach out to me at Wassa, WASSA, at Fresh or Fresh, Fresh with an F, then Fresh with a PH.com. That's Wassa at fresherfresh.com. Thank you so much for all your time. Thank you guys for continually supporting and showing love to the show. Shout out one time to all my loyal listeners and to everybody who's sharing the podcast, sharing it with their friends, and sharing it with their enemies. Even if you think it's sucky, share it with your enemies, man. You know what it is. Thank you so much for your time, for real. Te quiero mucho, and we'll be in contact, my G. Un abrazo. Hasta la próxima. Peace.